Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, there's a series of clips showing apparitions in the sky, which can only be explained as UFOs. Not that they're real, as far as I'm concerned. It's military technology. They're called anti-gravitational propulsion systems, and they're being used, and they have been weaponized by the military for a while now. I've done a very extensive vlog on that, explaining the technology. In fact, the title is the technology possibly used by the Dajjal for his conveyance. It's somewhere in the vlogs archived. Anyway, this is for the ulama ikram, especially so please take a look. They seem to be doing it world over in all the war-torn countries, specifically so in the Middle East, Middle Eastern countries, and Syria at the moment. You can listen to the guys in the foreground. They're absolutely astonished by this, and they can't explain it away simply because the technology in and of itself kind of defies the laws of physics as we understand them. This is all deliberate. That's why that technology has never been made available in the public domain, simply because they've got another agenda for that technology. As I understand it, they're going to stage a false extraterrestrial contact during the exit and trajectory of this binary system, binary system, and its celestial bodies, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
This is just simply anti-gravitational propulsion system. On the vlogs, we've discussed at length the cloaking and I guess the technology to disappear. It's called the invincible cloaking system, I think. That technology has been discussed as well at length through studies at a university, and their account of how this cloaking technology, as it were, even on tanks and military uniform, it's being used. So I mean, it's not difficult to believe that they can't use the same sort of technology on flying crafts, as well as using holographic technology. So I mean, it is an amalgamation of all these technologies put together, which I think will be used to stage this false extraterrestrial contact as well. And this is, I guess, the subject matter that our beloved ulama kiram need to come to grips with. And look, all I can recommend is you study the science PDF from start to finish with a fine-tooth comb, and then maybe perhaps after you've done that, revert back to the channel, go to the about all the videos that have been archived on that. In fact, this particular science PDF, you'll find that on the about link on the channel. Then go to this the channel and revert in backwards formation, study all the videos that have been archived, it should give you a very reasonable backdrop to this a certain phenomena, which seem to be part and parcel of this extraterrestrial contact, uh, by extension of that um, agenda, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
الله أكبر. 1/8/2013 مدينة حمص، انفجار واستدعاء. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. انفجارات رهيبة جدا جدا. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. يا الله يا الله، اللهم نصرك يا رب.
As the cameras capture the rescue effort, one is taken by an object on the skyline.
These are all black ops using that sort of military technology in these war-torn countries. I guess they get to practice and use and understand the, I guess, reaction, as well as there's a lot of data points that they glean from these sort of exercises, and I guess perfect their technology, try to understand the responses psychologically of people on the ground, and then use all of that information in order to ensure that they perfect this psyop, as well as the technology that they're using um, for the grand, I guess, faults, staged extraterrestrial contact that they certainly seem to have in mind, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. It seems to be on the cards, and it's a dialogue that needs to happen, simply because there's, subhanallah, a huge swath of humanity, let alone, subhanallah, the Muslim ummah, who could very easily be swayed by these sort of apparitions. You've seen the reaction of Muslims on the ground in these war-torn countries, and their response to this apparition in the sky. Imagine when this is followed by holographic technology, as well as this narrative, followed by, sorry, the trajectory of a very real um, binary system and its celestial bodies. Imagine them being at close proximity to our atmosphere, and us being able to see something in our horizon which is equally as big as our moon, if not bigger, right, going past us, and then for them to time this the technology they've been developing. And it seems like, to some extent or the other, they've actually received, or not received necessarily, but maybe developed this technology through the technology available to previous nations. And there's nothing extraterrestrial about this technology as far as I'm concerned. But yes, there's certainly a possibility that past nations that had been destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by God, who are very technologically advanced. And when I say technologically advanced, they had certain capabilities and abilities, and they understood certain energies as well as sound to a degree that we have not yet mastered, subhanallah, in terms of our advancements. Although there's certain pockets of the military-industrial complex that's developed these technologies, and especially so for the United States of America, who I believe are then looking to stage this false extraterrestrial contact during the trajectory of this binary system. And there's just, like I said, the evidence is very, very compelling. You know, subhanallah, that this seems to be as part of an agenda to pretty much do away with a sizable amount of the um, faithful in the three major religions, right? And two of which, more specifically, are Christianity and Islam. And a lot of people will fall for this. Even if you did a litmus test just within your vicinity, within your area, within your subhanallah, your gatherings and your flock, as it were, and just find out from them what their position is concerning extraterrestrial life, and see if they do believe it. And you'll find how much of a effort the Batil has made on them in entertaining the possibility of such extraterrestrial beings. Now, my position is within the first samawat, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, forgive me for my ignorance, but my position is that within the first samawat, the first heaven, the only intelligent creation that has been spoken of are angels, jinn, which are third dimensional beings, and then humanity, of which two have been given will, and which is jinn and humanity, subhanallah. So you can exclude the malaika, the angels, out of this equation, and the only possibility is that they are jinn, which I think they also play a part in this whole false extraterrestrial contact, which is closely going to be followed by Dajjal Lanatullahi alayhi's arrival. I've also discussed how I think that that's another. It's a discussion for another time. I guess we won't discuss that right now. It's already archived in the channel for those of you who've been closely studying it, or who will study the channel and what's archived on it. But subhanallah, it's very, very, very concerning, and I think it's a huge, huge area of concern as well, fitna, that the ulama kiram want to really address, and maybe perhaps start having this dialogue with their flock, with the ummah, that it seems like there's a reasonable possibility that the shayateen in ins and jinn are looking to stage a false extraterrestrial contact, and to be muhtat about that. I mean, it is a strange subject in and of itself, but to be honest with you, the ramifications are not are to be taken seriously. It's the iman, you know. I mean, we're beloved ulama ikrama, the standard bearers of Deen and the guardians of it. And if there's any possible threat to it, we have to look at this with some level of hikmah and basira, and address the possibility. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I'm going to let this play anyway to the end, and then archive it, inshallah. Now, this sort of apparition has been caught in Turkey as well. This is certainly in Syria. I'll leave in the description box two videos that I insist our beloved ulama ikram at least watch all the way to the end, and then maybe decide for themselves whether there is a real threat or not, and whether it needs addressing or not. I'll leave those links in the description box along with this particular video, and please watch it. You know, subhanallah, there's a lot to be had from it, inshallah.
الله أكبر. كتاب نور الدين زنكي، جبهة معرة الأرتيخ. الله أكبر. ترجمة كتاب نمشي.
Okay, guys. So I'll leave it at that, I guess. Inshallah ta'ala. It's just I felt, like I said, it's a big part of the science PDF and the hypothesis we've laid out in that document. Uh, so again, this just augments and supports the conclusion of that document. A part of the conclusion of that document anyway. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Jazakallahu khairan wa ahsanul jaza for your time.